So today I've come to the northern side of Exmoor. I'm a few miles north of Simmonsbath, and yeah, we've got some low-lying cloud, but it's trying to clear. The sun is trying to break through. Oh, I hope the camera's picking that skylark up. Lovely. But anyway, I've got about a 14-mile loop planned, which will take me to the southwest coast path. So let's shall we get on. You get loads of these trees up on Exmoor. They just can't grow because it's so harsh up here. But look at that lichen, that bearded lichen. Is it called bearded lichen? But look at it. I mean, and a lichen, it grows where the air is really clean and clear, and I mean there's plenty of it there. Anyway, I don't know if the through this cloud, I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up. We're dropping down into a little valley, and then we continue up the other side. The sun's desperately trying to break through, but not quite managing it at the moment. Bit of a ford to cross as well by the looks of it. So always a bit concerning in these conditions when you're going on, you're starting to think I should be seeing something coming to view about now, and it doesn't, and then through the mist of murk, or the cloud of murk, the murky cloud, you see your waypoint appearing, and you think, yeah, I'm bang on track. Let's hope it stays that way. This section of the walk passes through what's shown on the map as the remains of a medieval village, and you can kind of see old field systems and bits and pieces of stone walls which are part of houses. I mean, believe me, here it's like the main thoroughfare running through the centre. But the thing about this place is, without wanting to get too deep, but I'm going to, I'm afraid, is that when you walk through here, I don't come over here as much as I'd like really, but when you do walk through here, you almost get a feel for the community that was here. I mean, the residents now are mainly sheep. Couple over there, but yeah, there's a vibe, there's an energy running through this place, and yeah, it's quite nice. Anyway, time to move on. You know, it never ceases to amaze me where Fogsbourne turns up. So we're on a, you know, it's quite a well-used footpath here, and in this big puddle we've got Fogsbourne with, you can see the tadpoles developing inside. Yeah, amazing. They just pop up in the most, I mean, is that an unlikely spot? But do you know what I mean? Here we are at Badgworthy Water. It's looking pretty clear and clean actually, lovely. But yeah, up to this point we've been walking in Devon, but we've kind of been hugging the Devon-Somerset border. But I mean, Badgworthy Water really is the border of the two counties, because this side is Devon and that side is Somerset, and we're going to briefly go into Somerset shortly. But yeah, a lovely little stretch of river this is, keep your eye out for anything. Well, would a camera be picking these two grey wagtails up? Look at them, beautiful. But I actually got the camera out because while we've been in Badgworthy Woods, the sun has come out and it's looking absolutely stunning. You just got to love nature, haven't you? It's just fantastic, mind-blowing. Well, this seems as good a time as any to say we're about to enter the village of Malmesmead, and that's where the book Lorna Doone was set. And there's a memorial here commemorating the author Richard Doddridge Blackmore, whose novel Lorna Doone extols to all the world the joys of Exmoor. It's not a bad spot either, is it? I've crossed the river and I'm now in Somerset for a few miles. Well, there's Malmesmead down there. That's Malmesmead Bridge, you can see, which dates back to the 17th century. And as I scoot around, continue looking up the valley, and that track going up the side of the hill there, that's where we're heading up to next. So I thought I'd get a closer shot of Malmesmead Bridge. You can either drive over it or there's a ford here, but the ford's pretty slippery. Here we go. Let's cross this bridge. And there's the start of the climb. So over the next kilometre-ish we ascend 100 metres, but on the map there's a viewpoint marked at the top, so hopefully we're going to get some good clear views. Well, not even halfway up, and you can see the elevation we've gained already. Onwards! Lovely. So that's a stone chat. Oh, there's the female as well. That's good timing. Yeah, so they're pairing up for the spring. That was the male, the first one, and you can see it's the colours on his chest starting to go really red. But yeah, stone chats. Okay, well, here's the viewpoint. Not bad, is it? Not bad. So we've come from over that direction. It's a bit hazy. You can see the Doone Valley, which was run by Badgworthy Water. So we've come from, there's the tops of Exmoor, and we've come from the other side of those hills. But anyway, let's check if this tea room's open. A coffee and a lump of fruit cake later, and we're going to hit the road again. So we're at County Gate, so we're in Somerset, but we're about to cross over the road and back into Devon, and I can just make out the sea through the mist down there. So we're heading towards the southwest coast path now. Totally typical. Navigate all through that cloud this morning, no problem. Sun comes out, clear as a daisy, and I go wrong. Fortunately, it didn't take me too long to realise I'd gone wrong, so no big deal. But yeah, unbelievable. Well, I wasn't expecting this. So this is called Sister's Fountain. Goes down to that pool. Let's have a look around here. Wow. Interesting. Well, I'm currently walking along the southwest coast path, and there's been no views of the sea as such because there's been lots of thick rhododendron bushes. There's some up there. I mean, the path's been clear, and now we've gone into woodland. But I suppose I've been walking along for, I don't know, a couple of miles maybe. But the plan is to head towards Contisbury, and once we get to Contisbury, we're going to head back inland and head up to the tops of Exmoor again. So, finally got out of those trees and rhododendron bushes, and currently going through this valley. So that's Fallen Point there. So we're snaking, we're not going to be going up that, we're going to be snaking around the bottom of Fallen Point, and yeah, then we'll see what the view's like looking back. But yeah, magnificent day. All the gorse is looking spectacular in the sunshine. Anyway, next stop is going to be somewhere on Fallen Point. Here's Fallen Point. So we've come from not the headland all the way over there, but the one just sort of like, hopefully the camera can pick it out in this, because it's quite hazy, and if you walked along the coast path kind of up and down-ish, and then we've come along here, and yeah, Fallen Point. I'm just going to walk to the end here, because just down there we've got Fallen Point Lighthouse. Anyway, I'm going to continue along the coast path now to Contisbury, which isn't too far away. So yeah, moving on. Not cloud, that's sea mist. Look at it, it's really, I mean, they say sea mist rolls in, don't they? I mean, that really is rolling in. It'll be interesting if it catches me up. I'm pretty sheltered at the moment, but once I'm out of this headland here, the breeze will pick up again. Nice little beach, look at that, wow. Anyway, on we go. So before I leave the coast path and head inland, I figured I'd make the most of this view, and I'd stop for a quick green tea before leaving. Fantastic, man. Well, we have arrived in Contisbury. Check this out. So the valley below me, the East Lyn River runs through that, and we're going to drop down to it and make our way up that way for a couple of miles, at which point we leave this valley and head up to the top of the skyline. In fact, it's a little bit beyond that. That's roughly where we left the car this morning. Well, here we are, East Lyn River. We've got to cross over and then yeah, upstream for a couple of miles and then start heading back up to the tops of Exmoor. So there's some spectacular looking rapids on East Lyn River. That's quite a mild one compared to some back there, but yeah, it's like a, well, it is a gorge, like a mini gorge. Look at the water charging through there. When I think there was a disaster back in the 50s actually, further downstream, where heavy rain and the water runoff from Exmoor came charging down here and wiped the village out. But yeah, you can really see how this could rise up and become a raging torrent. But it's a lovely valley to walk through, it really is. And quite bizarrely, I keep seeing a heron. Yeah, I know herons like water, but it's pretty fast flowing. And hold on, I can see it, bear with me. Yeah, check that out. So I've seen, and he's off, or she, there. Oh, right in the way there. Okay, these branches are getting a thing in the way. But my point is, I suppose, I never realised herons would frequent fast flowing water like this. I thought they stayed in edges of ponds and calmer rivers so they could see their prey and get it easier, but apparently not. And another thing about herons is, I've probably mentioned this before on previous videos, but if they can fit something in their mouth and it's got meat on it, they will consume it. They will take anything which they think they can fit in that huge beak of theirs. So I'm now leaving the East Lyn River, climbing out of the other side of the valley. Woo! I gotta say, that's been a tough pull out, really has. Slippy, fallen trees and steep, but hopefully this little short section is going to ease off a little bit now, but if it doesn't, I don't really care, to be honest. Yeah, tell me about it. My route up was steeper than that. Okay, we are back on the tops of Exmoor. This is Shilstone Hill, and it's the highest point of the day, 1,325 feet. I'm going to wrap things up here because the car's quite close by, so by the time I get back to the car it's going to be a tad over 15 miles. But on a clear day, so that's looking north, so you'll be able to you would be able to see the sea, the Bristol Channel, South Wales the other side, and on a really clear day you can even make out the Brecon beacons. So I'm going to keep spinning round to see if the complete 360. And there we have it. I hope the wind didn't didn't interfere too much then. But yeah, a fantastic walk that's been. Really enjoyed it. There's such varied terrain, moorland, coastal path, valleys or combes, woods. It's been brilliant, man, really good. And on early spring, and it's an early spring day, that's been glorious. Anyway, time to head home.